Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions.
Some presence here in United States
Right.
to be more efficient.
Sure.
So in 2008, we opened the first office in New Jersey. My brother moved here, and I think three of our key employees moved here as well. And in 2010, I came here for a business trip for about a month. I was running the Russian office back then, and we had some business to discuss, a few things. So I lived here in New Jersey for a month.
Mm-hmm.
I came back home. I told my wife, how was it? And in just about a year, we were here.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, it was, we had a kid. He was 2 years old when we moved. So he was 1 year old when I came here, and I just compared, what it is to live here versus to where we live back home. And that really changes the perspective.
Yeah.
When you've been there, you've seen that, and you felt that, and you come back, and it, to a point, some of the things become intolerable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And being a parent,
driven the decision. Yeah.
being a parent changes everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
That's
I turned into a mush ball when my kids came. Right. I had never cried before. I mean, it's like, right. I turned into this emotional thing I don't even recognize anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's different because you start looking at the world in terms of how can you help your children succeed? What can you do to protect them?
Yes.
Right. And where's the best place for them to be? And I can only imagine that you left here, left New Jersey, went back there, and went, what are we doing? Right?
Well, it was something and it wasn't all that bad, right?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you want
years.
what's best for your kids. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but when you live in a certain situation, some things becomes a norm for you until you realize that they are not. Right. So, and that's kind of when the switch went off. I mean, it's we had addictions going around. We had it wasn't overall a very safe place to grow up.
Yeah.
Because another small story is when we were just moving to United States, we decided to look up some crime statistics, right? Where we're gonna live, like what's gonna happen. And we were looking at the crime statistics, and at some point of time, we're just like, we can move anywhere in United States because the crime statistics, I think Camden at the time when we looked was one of the worst or the worst city.
Yeah, it's rough. There are areas that are rough there.
The crime statistics there was about 5 times more.
Better.
What's the word?
Better.
Basically, better.
Safer.
Than where we live, right? So we kind of like, if that is the worst place, then we should be good, right?
Sort of made your decision for you,
Yeah, absolutely.
I got you. So you come to the U.S., you get settled, right? You have a 2-year-old.
Yes.
And you get going. Talk a little bit about that experience. So you're here, you're getting settled.
Oh, God.
Talk about that experience for a second.
that was the whole other experience because we moved, right, and I really thought I knew English,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved, and then I had my first phone call with the internet service provider,
Yeah.
and I realized that I do not know English whatsoever. Uh, so it was we moved here 2011.
Yeah.
My first bill for the internet was around $200 a month.
Wow.
Can you
Wow.
imagine that? Because
No.
I was like, I wouldn't understand what they were saying, so I would be
Right.
like, yes, yes, I need internet, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I subscribed for everything they had to offer. Uh, and
You did everything but buy the company, right?
thank God, it was funny, but the whole other experience was shopping, right? So we moved. We have empty house. We bought some things on the internet, and gotta go shop. I don't have a car. I don't have a local driver's license
Right.
yet. So all of that kind of
Right.
stuff. So I had a 40-liter travel backpack with me, like the huge thing. So I would take the backpack, and because it's a 12-hour, 11-hour difference between where we moved from and New Jersey,
Yeah.
obviously our whole regime is screwed up. Right,
Mm-hmm.
nothing is working well. Our son sleeps through the day and wakes up in the night and don't
Yeah.
sleep at the night. So
Yeah.
like so it's 3 in the morning. I'm going to ShopRite. Thank God
Mm-hmm.
it was a 24-hour ShopRite and it was in a walking distance.
Right.
And I'm buying stuff. And I cannot carry all that stuff because we need a lot from pants to everything. Like, so I'm putting everything in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
People looking at me like, yeah, okay. So one night, 3 in the morning, I'm coming out of ShopRite with the backpack full, with the plunger sticking out of it because we needed the plunger. Then
Right.
I'm walking home, and then there is a police car,
Yeah.
like slowly driving next to me, and I'm just walking, and they just slowly driving. So at some
Yeah.
point of time, the guy rolls down the windows like, "You good?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm walking home." He's like, "Okay." He rolls up the window, and then he followed me all the way home.
Yeah.
I walked in, and then he just sped away. So it was a crazy experience, I mean, the amount of produce we wasted, it was insane the first 2 or 3 months because you look at everything, everything's different. I want to try this, I want to try that, and then you try it and think, oh my God, that is awful. Like, never eating that again, and
Right.
and then you go through all of that. I don't know how many pounds I gained after I came here because I mean, bakeries and this and this and that, But the thing that I still remember is the first morning. So,
Yeah.
like, we came into the house and we were brought in uh, by a taxi. We walked in. We went to sleep. It's evening. We are tired because it's
Yeah.
been like 18 hours on the road, to 20
Right.
hours on the road with the little kids. Not
Mm-hmm.
fun. Uh, we went to sleep. It's cold. We have no idea how to operate any of this. It's
Right.
actually turned out that the heating system was off. We didn't know that,
Yeah.
right? Because who knew, right? How
Right.
to do everything. And it was April, so it wasn't really hot uh, back then. And we were like, did we make a right decision? Like the first night was like, did we make like why did we come? Like I want to go home,
Yeah.
right? And then we woke up in the morning, and the sun was shining. It was
Mhm.
like 18 not 18, it was like 50, 60 degrees outside. We went outside and the air was clear.
Mm.
I grew up by the oil refactory, so
Oh,
for us the smell of a clear air is something that's non-existent. We had
right.
black snow on occasion, right, and
Right.
but
Right.
not the clear air. So
Yeah.
So went out, and that was the moment when it was like, yeah, we did make the right decision. We're gonna have to make it work, and we did. So yeah, the first month I was walking to the office, working, making sure that we build on top of what we have here. We are successful, we grow, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I take it there was more to choose from in the stores here than there was back where you came from.
It's by the time when we left, it wasn't that different. The problem was that all the manufacturers, all the brands, everything was different, and even the things that were the same were different.
Yeah.
Because the recipes that they have, like
Yeah.
they different for Europe and for
Oh, sure.
for United States and everything. So it took some time to figure out, because there was nothing like familiar.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know I like this milk and this bread. Like,
Right.
yeah, no, it was, let me try all of this milk and see which works best for me.
Right. And all the produce, right? Everything
And
they
all the
have.
produce. No, the produce was a nice, very nice change, because
Yeah.
you like where we grew up, it was really hard to find fresh, good produce, especially when we had a kid.
Yeah.
It became twice as hard. So coming here and having easy access to all the fresh produce, that was a welcome change.
Quite a culture shock, huh?
Yeah.
So you come here and you
Yeah.
start working
Yes.
and you guys have some success, right? So you've been in business by the time you get to the US, you guys have been in business now for 12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start working, you start building the business, right?
Yeah.
What was the number one most important thing that you learned continuing to build from 2011 to today?
The most valuable thing I learned, I think it's about customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about customer experience. You
Yeah.
can be as innovative or whatever it is, if the experience is not there, you're not gonna succeed.
Right.
So I think that's part. And a lot of people misunderstand what it really means to give a great customer experience,
Mm-hmm.
because saying no is a part of a great customer experience. It's not
Mhm.
all yes. It's not like the hunt for, like, I'll do whatever, I'll try to please you however I can, just give me your business.
Mhm.
It's about selecting those whose values match yours, whose interest and the intentions matches yours, and then being honest with them.
Mhm.
you know in, Even one of our longest relationships with the customers is almost the entire existence of the company, right?
Mhm.
24 years, 25 years. And I don't even know how many times we said no to them.
Mm.
They would come to us with the project and we would be like, yeah, guys, no, that's not what you need. We
Mhm.
don't believe that this is going to help you succeed. So we are not taking your money to do that stuff to you. So, and I mean, that company went through like change of the ownership and multiple management changes and stuff like that over that period of time. They're still working with us.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why.
Well, it builds trust,
Absolutely.
right? And a lot of times they'll bring you something that they're fired up about, they're excited about, whatever they think they need,
Yeah.
right? And oftentimes it's a test. Oftentimes they'll bring it to you and then you'll go, "Okay, well wait a minute. Let's talk about this for a second." You become that trusted advisor. You
Yeah.
become that sort of sounding board that they can bounce things off of, right? That makes you an invaluable supplier to them.
I should hope so. Yes.
It does. It does because you become that advisor, right? You become
Yeah.
that consultant that's trusted, that sits with them and says, "Look, I know your business too, right? And this probably is not the way to go. Now, there might be a different way to go, and this is what we've seen, right? Or this is what we would try if we were you, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
That's incredibly valuable. That's why you guys have succeeded at the level that you have. It's because you're willing, and it's also tips, right? It's that theory of innovative problem solving. That's all a part of the fabric of why you all have succeeded the way that you have. So I spent quite a bit of time on your website, as I'm sure you figured out, and it's impressive. The thing that's the most impressive to me is you're solution oriented. You're always trying to figure out a way to, even if they come to you with a whole bunch of moving parts, you're trying to figure out a way to sort of connect them all together, make them work, and then make everything communicate.
Yeah.
Right? Talk about that for a second.
So, I from the very, very early childhood, our grandparents and our mom always used to say a simple thing: those who want, look for opportunities.
Mhm.
Those who don't, look for excuses.
Yeah.
And that
Well, isn't
kind
that
of
the truth?
that became the one of the founding principles for the business,
Yeah.
right? So we really don't like when people are making excuses.
Yeah.
Can you fail? Yes, absolutely. We are all humans. Can you make mistakes? Yes, absolutely. We are all humans, right?
Mhm.
But the worst thing you can do is start looking for excuses why something is impossible.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as impossible, right?
Mhm.
There is just maybe not enough ideas, thoughts, money, resources, something, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the way we approach projects. A lot of projects that we do, like a lot of businesses still look at the IT projects as something simple,
Mhm.
and there are simple projects. I like wouldn't tell you that all the software projects are complex. No, they're not. There
Mhm.
are simple projects, complicated projects, complex projects, but what people don't realize is the amount of complexity in the world right now. Everybody wants to revert back to being comfortable, to
Yeah.
live in a predictable environment, and that ain't happening,
Right.
right? So like even from just numbers perspective, right? One of the things that we teach in one of our courses when we teach people agile is that the airplanes right now, right? The engineering marvels have maybe 200,000 pieces
Mhm.
come into the assembly, right?
Mhm.
Your average app will have at least the same amount of pieces that
Wow.
comes together.
Wow.
And a complex, huge solution with like 8 billion lines of code will definitely have more than that. So the complexity of these software solutions are actually much, much, much higher than most people anticipate them to be.
Right.
And theory of complexity says that in order to deal with the complex system, you
Mhm.
need another system of a same complexity or higher complexity.
Yeah.
That's why it's all about the teamwork right now. That's why I think it's the world, to be honest with you, is scary because people got used to rely on expertise.
Mhm.
And what is an expert? Expert is somebody who learned the theory and then had years and years and years of practice.
Yeah.
Problem right now is the world is moving so fast that if you are an expert, then you are already behind.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why, for example, we don't call ourselves experts. We never
Right.
will. And that's, well, the word is prohibited in the business
Right.
internally, right? So we never say about ourselves as experts because of that,
Right.
right? We will learn. We will learn what is needed to successfully complete the project. But am I an expert in any of the fields? No, because I don't want to be behind, right?
Yeah. And
So
you never stop learning. That's the key to it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's why again, yeah, we focused on the problem solving, right? And that requires certain degree of trust and collaboration and openness when
Mhm.
working with the customer, because I don't want you as a customer to tell me what to do. I want you to tell me what do you want to achieve,
Right.
and let's sit down together and see how we can make it possible, right?
Right.
Because in a lot of cases, again, these systems are not simple anymore,
Yeah.
right? So you cannot predict exactly how the market is going to behave when your application hit the market. And we had a pretty simple project that, as people considered it, they wrote down all the requirements. We asked for one thing:
Mm-hmm.
can we spend a week talking to people in the field who are going to be using that?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yeah, sure. I mean, do that if you feel that is necessary, right? So about 80% of the requirements to the project changed after this conversation.
Wow. Wow. 80%, that's a large number.
Yes, it is, and that happens a lot. That's why agile became so popular as a term, right? And because that's kind of the adaptive way to do things.
Gotcha.
So the moment you roll back and start looking into that predictability and like, hey, let's list everything you're gonna do, and let's outline the plan how you're gonna do it, and let's do this. Can we do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Will it help you? High probability that no, unless you're really into the market for simple projects. But if you are, we are not the best vendor for you.
Gotcha.
It's as simple as that.
So quick question for you.
Yeah,
Let's say somebody's listening to this and they want to know why they should work with GetSoft. What's the number one reason a potential customer would work with you?
I'm gonna use words that I've heard from our customer. One of our customers, the manager told that sometimes I feel that your guys are treating the success of our business more seriously than our own employees.
Wow.
So
wow, what a testimonial.
That's the reason why.
Wow, that's amazing, Ivan.
Yes.
What an incredible testimonial.
That's how we approach the way we work with our clients.
That is really smart, man. That's amazing. Okay. Last question. What does tomorrow look like for you and for GetSoft?
We don't know that yet. We live in a changing world,
Yeah.
So for us, our tomorrow is just as unpredictable and scary, and we don't know what's gonna happen. What we know is that no matter what it is, we're gonna be ready for it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like the army or the navy, right? Adapt and overcome, right?
Yeah.
Kind of similar in our business. So we know that something is gonna shake the markets and shake the world at some point of time, and we're gonna be ready for it. And we're gonna help our customers to be ready for it. And we're definitely gonna grow. We're gonna find crazy people like us to live in that scary world and work with us.
That's
And
awesome.
overall, it's gonna be all right. So.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Ivan, thank you so much for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. This has been a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Mike. And thank you very much for having me here today. And congratulations on, almost 1 year in 3 days. It's really a great achievement, and you're doing great things.
Thank you, buddy.
Good. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.